Hi everyone, so I'm just going to give a really quick brief overview of the types. Obviously I want to clarify though before we start that just because you are the same type as someone else does not mean you guys are going to operate in the same way at all, as I've mentioned in previous videos, and we'll be continuing on in the series about myths in human design. One of the main ones is that people look at type as if they look at like me being a Gemini and then immediately have these assumptions, okay? Human design is meant to be an unbiased thing because the accuracy and the depth that goes into it, and I don't ever want human design to lose that beauty, and I feel that it is my duty to at least inform people of that. With that in mind, let's go ahead and talk about the first type that I want to talk about today, which is the manifestor, and their strategy is to inform specifically the people that are going to be affected by the decision or the direct line to source that they got of what they want to do and initiate. They're initiators, so they're going to initiate something, and without informing the people that are involved, they can either be concerned because they don't know where you're at. It could be something like you're going into a business meeting and you didn't tell your business partner that you're switching up the PowerPoint slides or something like that. Sorry, that's the example that came to my mind. Then they'd be a little annoyed. So it is very important that whatever you're doing, you inform the people around you that are going to be impacted. So family, colleagues, business people, whomever that might be, okay? So they are 9% of the population. They are going to have a motor connected to the throat. And so if you are a manifestor, how do you know that you're staying in alignment or following your strategy? The strategy is the first thing to learn in human design and to start doing is to follow your strategy, right? So how do you know that you're kind of staying in alignment to that? There's going to be, and I know that this word can be a little triggering to some people, but honestly, none of the signature themes that are like the not self of any of the types are that great. So but it's anger. So I know anger can be a controversial word, but in reality, if you sit back and think about it, anger can be presented in a lot of different ways. People can show anger in a lot of different ways, and it doesn't necessarily mean that you're screaming or there's just this absolute burst of anger. But what happens is that if you don't inform the people that you are going to that you're doing this or you're initiating something, then if they get in your way, then immediately whatever was the initiation or that manifestation that you were having can sometimes just be gone like that, which can then lead to this feeling of anger. And so if you feel like you're feeling a lot of anger, maybe it's because one, you're not listening or you're not really tapped into that source, that absolute beautiful connection to source and to the throat that you have. And by the way, congratulations that you have that. Know that you should be able to absolutely stand in that power and listen to that. There are beautiful ways that you can do that, and I'm happy to make videos on that, on how you can kind of tap into that if you comment below, as well as I'm sure if you looked it up on YouTube or online, I'm sure there's been a few people who are manifestors who have probably already done that. But again, if you want to comment below, if you want me to make a video on some examples on how to really tap into your strategies for each of these types, I'm happy to do that as well. But if you are out of alignment, you're going to feel anger. It could be internal anger, you could be shoving that down, which of course is then going to affect your body, affect your mental state. So how do we know if we are in alignment? That is when we're going to feel peace. And it makes sense because we're going to feel peace if we've informed everyone what's going on and they're going to be out of our way, and we're going to be able to finish or begin the project that we're going to begin. The reason I stopped myself from saying the word finish is because manifestors are the initiators. They are not necessarily here to finish the project. Most times, like 9 out of 10 times, they are not going to have the energy. They do not have their sacral defined. As we know, there are 4 motors in human design. There is the will center, there is the sacral center, there is the the solar plexus, and then the root center, and the sacral center will not be defined. So they're just like the projectors and reflectors of being non-energy types. However, one of the other 3 are going to be connected to the throat